Welcome to the last episode of the Fort Tuthill series. Summer is right around the corner, and I couldn't have asked for a better day to go outside and ride. There was barely any wind today, and it was about 60 degrees while I was out. I'm going to be riding my dad's hardtail today. It's a Trek Excalibur 8, and it's the bike I rode last fall for the race season. My dad took it for the 2020 spring NBAA season. My bike is currently in the shop getting a shock and fork service, and also getting one of the lockout hoses replaced. So this is my hydraulic lockout on my fork, and it's supposed to be like that. This hose is supposed to go into that little metal piece right there, but got back from a ride this morning and turns out it popped off. So I'm taking it to the shop and we'll see what they say. The shop told me that I would just need to replace the hose, which I was glad about because I had been dreading having to replace the entire lockout device. The trail I'm going to be riding today is called the Highland Trail. It goes out from Fort Tuthill to a place called the Kachina Wetlands. Kachina Village is about 10 minutes south of Flagstaff, and the Kachina Wetlands are back behind the urban area.
Hey, buddy.
In order to get to the start of Highland Trail, you have to climb up the back of Soldiers Trail and up to the intersection of Soldiers Trail and the bridge connector. The trail opposite of the bridge trail goes to the dirt road that I followed last episode, out to the Rogers Lake connector. There's a short single track segment between Soldiers and the start of Highland. Highland Trail starts out on a section that is totally washed out. At some point, riders started going around all the rocks and another line developed. This part of the trail goes on for a few minutes, and then there's a fork in the trail. You can go either way here and get to the bottom of the hill. I prefer to take the right trail because the left is more fun to climb, and because the right one is a pain to climb. I'll show you why later. The right-hand side of the loop starts on a shallow descent after the fork. I wish that this rock was a more direct and open feature, because I would love to get up a lot of speed and turn it into a high-speed drop. The trail then begins a slight climb scattered with tree roots and rocks. This is one reason why I love having 29-inch wheels on my bike, because not only are they faster than 27.5-inch wheels, but they also roll over almost anything that you throw at them, including rocks, log rolls, ledges, and roots. At the top of the rocky chunk, Highland makes a quick left turn and joins with another trail. I'm not sure where this other trail was supposed to go, but it ends about 20 feet if you were to turn right from Highland. The left turn takes you into a really fun part where most of the rocks disappear, and you can really put down the power on some fast, narrow double track. The double track changes grade frequently, so most riders choose to pedal this to keep their speed up. Semi-flat bits of trail like this are where hardtails really shine because you can put all your power into pedaling. On a full suspension bike, if you don't lock out your rear shocks, you can lose some of your climbing ability because the rear shock absorbing some of the power. At this point, Highland drops down about 100 feet in a little under a quarter mile. As much as you might want to bomb down this hill, it's a really bad idea to make an uncontrolled descent. This hill ends in a gate, and at the bottom of the hill is all gravel, which is not the best for a fast stop. In order to not pancake into the gate, you have to use your brakes the whole way down. This hill is also the reason why I prefer to take the right trail on the way out and climb the left side on the way back. This hill is a pain to climb because it is so loose and steep, and I'm speaking from experience on that. On the other side of Highway 89, the trail continues into the woods. It's a fun section of twisty single track that goes downhill. The way that Highland is set up on the far side of the highway takes full advantage of the rolling hills. This trail drops down from the road, but then begins to go up again after crossing a small dirt road. The techie fun continues as the trail switchbacks down the side of the hill that you just climbed. This descent is, at least for me, the best techie descent on the trail. You have to go over numerous rocks, navigate a few tight turns, and also deal with rock gardens on the trail that don't provide very good traction. The downhill ends with an extremely tight turn. This turn has an alternate route up and around the large boulder and then back down below the turn.
That's a really tight turn.
After the descent, the trail climbs up the last hill to the wetlands. This last section of Highland is covered with rocks that can roll and move around, so I got into a higher gear to pedal more steadily and try to not lose traction. After that, Kachina Wetlands opens up before you. Today there are 4 baby geese swimming around. There was also a few ospreys hunting for fish and other aquatic life. This place is great for walking, running, and looking for birds. On the way back, the technical descent is just as fun to climb. The first sharp turn requires you to swing wide and then pedal hard to make it over the rocky ledge after the turn. The rest of the features were slightly harder to pedal on the uphill grade, but I was able to clear all of them. This trail was a place that I was struggling to clean last fall, but this year I've been able to clean almost everything, and in doing so, I've proved to myself that I've actually been improving as a rider. It's one thing to hear that I'm getting better from my coach or my parents, but it's a huge reward to see improvement for myself. After I crossed back over Highway 89, the last stretch of Highland was in sight. In this next part, you climb back up to the level of the trailhead in a very short distance. For the first half mile, it's single track without a whole lot of rocky sections, but that all changes once you get to the hill. The trail climbs back to the fork in 2 parts separated by a sharp turn. You have to have enough power to get through the turn because there's a small step up that you have to be prepared for. The last major feature on Highland is this jagged rock garden. I used to walk this part until one of my coaches on my school team showed me the best line to clean it. As with most rock gardens that are this jagged, the best line is along the outside. After that, the loop part of Highland ends and I headed back towards Tuthill. Alright everybody, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this series. Next week we're going to be taking a look at a trail that I've never been on before, so until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.